Yo, what's going on? NPC the game live coming at you from Taiwan as usual, but every day's different. What's up, Liquid Dan? What's up, my brother? How's it going? Yeah. So you gonna chill with us? Feed them, feed them real quick. Okay, good. Well, I mean, this is definitely this one's probably the most important broadcast, one of the most important I ever seen in terms of eye-opening things, especially those of us with children. Society definitely needs to protect their children, especially when parents can't. And this documentary I watched last night was very disturbing and a wake up call to what's really going on out there. You know, we see a lot of these pedo catcher um, YouTube niches when people go in America and they set these guys up who set themselves up for preying on kids. But this is what they show in this video, which is from 8 years ago. Seems to be systemic in terms of what I've like read about and heard people talk about in parts of Afghanistan and also Pakistan, who share a border right there. And mind you, this isn't not everyone's doing this stuff, but it was definitely like I said, disturbing and just sad and tragic how this essay of kids goes on, in these in society, in human society in general, that this stuff is still going on. And yeah, this is heavy, man. What's up, crazy mama? Good to see you. Ay, ay, ay. Damn. Mm. Well, is it back on now? Let's see. Fair use. Yeah, for sure. I guess we're going too deep on YouTube. Let's see if it's back on. Suspended. We're suspended in time. Okay, I didn't know that. Anyway, man. I guess it's back on right now, huh? Okay, thank. Yeah, I guess fair use. Man, that's anyway. This documentary was bad, man. Uh, Not bad meaning good, but bad. A lot of like a crazy stuff. This led me down the rabbit hole listening to this week. This week and a half. I've been listening to a lot of Sean Ryan uh podcasts. The Sean Ryan, the ex Navy SEAL, he interviews a lot of the war veterans, the special forces, and operators in Iraq and Afghanistan. And one of the things that was like kind of surprising to me was some of their stories about how in some of these warlords and folks in these countries they abuse the children, mainly boys, young boys. Um, and there's some of their stories were wild, man. And I found this documentary. I'll put the documentary in the in the chat for you to check out. Mm, there's a couple of different ones right here. Mm. Yeah, thanks for letting me know it's back on. The documentary right there, hidden shame. Yeah, yeah. With some of the stories with the special force operators in Afghanistan, especially, that like it's a culture or part of the culture. They all a lot of them always said like this is not all of the culture, but what they've witnessed and generalizing that a lot of the some of the men they would work with because in some of these units they would have to work with the locals, right? The indigenous people that, for example, in Pakistan or excuse me, Iraq, for example, or Afghanistan, who were fighting against the insurgents, you know, ISIS and Taliban, and they would work with them and they would do like tactical missions with them, United States military, and have a relationship on a tactical uh, rapport with them, on that type of relationship and how to get these missions done. But then also too, they kind of working with somebody every day. You kind of see what what their life is a little bit outside of work, and that was work for them, right? And more times than not, than they like to have seen, a lot of these special force operators witness like local police or even some of their servicemen engaging in a lot of homosexual activity and whatnot. Uh, and They even had to tell him. One of the operators was saying that sometimes during, when they would stay at their barracks, some of the units had them stay in their compound, and they had to tell him like, bro, you can't be, having sex with other dudes here, because he made a point saying he wasn't like he was putting Bibles on every bed, but he was letting them know from a sanitary standpoint, it's dirty. You know, everyone's gonna end up getting these diseases and spreading diseases and whatnot. They had to tell them, and so that was going on for adult men. And one of the things they said in the documentary that I watched was the fact that the some of these men, these predators that abused these young street boys in Pakistan, they would try to justify their behavior in raping these boys by saying like, due to Islamic law, you cannot you can't be around women really. They're separated and they're to be kept at home. But they need to express their desires, so they use these young boys to fulfill their sexual desires, which is awful. And because already in Pakistan, for example, so many young children are already working from an early age, like 6 years old. A lot of them, the street boys, they pick up garbage and whatnot off the street and try to get money for recycling. And they find out that like it's not enough to support their family because their family wants them. Some of their family wants them to go pick up the garbage and whatnot. Excuse me, for recycling. But and they said if you don't bring back a certain amount of money, they'll beat them or whatnot. And a lot of boys end up running away from their families to escape the abuse, end up on the street, end up hungry without any food, and then they end up learning from an early age. One boy was saying when he was 8, he figured out that if he sold his body, he can get money. And shit, man, just yeah. So some of these boys are doing that, and a lot of them, when they grow older, understandably, they start have this like they really hate their situation, right? End up hating themselves. And what do a lot of people do when they have this hatred for their situation in life or themselves? They turn depression is hate, turn inward. They want to escape, and what they escape to is a lot of times it's drugs, hardcore drugs. I mean, they have hash, but a lot of these boys who become men are addicted to heroin. And I remember hearing something about how in Afghanistan per capita, and this is from a couple of years ago, they had the most drug users per capita. Drug addicts, excuse me. It was like 2.9 million per capita to their population. And interestingly enough, a lot of the heroin that these men are addicted to comes from their country, the southern part of Afghanistan, excuse me, and where all the poppies are grown. And from poppies you get opium, which you can make heroin out of. And interesting enough, that's the California, my home state's state flower is the poppy. And you see in Alice in Wonderland, they fall asleep in the poppy fields. I remember my one of my first elementary schools, Kinderwood, in the front of the school where the sign is, there was poppies all lined up, like the ones they cut and take the sap to make heroin, make opium from in Afghanistan, the southern part, the southern region. And the southern region of Afghanistan is where the Taliban is from. Taliban it started off as a student movement as a reaction to the Afghani government that ended up beating the Soviets in the 80s and taking over Afghanistan, and like maybe kind of like pushing, wanted to be recognized as a legit country. So they kind of like were trying to work with the U.S. a little bit in the people that started the Taliban. Taliban loosely translated means students, the students, right? The student movement, and it started with students that came from the Islamic schools in the southern region of Pakistan where they grow this opium, and so that's where the Taliban came from. And in 1996 to 2001, they ended up controlling most of Pakistan. I mean, fuck it. I keep saying that. They're right next to each other. Afghanistan, right? So the Taliban, 96 to 2001, in doing so, they has a lot of hardcore, they use Sharia law, Islamic laws, along with traditionalism to rule their population, right? If you even look at some of their farming methods, it looks like from the biblical times, the stuff they were using, and maybe even compared to a Western postmodern state of mind, especially dealing with women, it is definitely archaic in the sense that they didn't believe that girls should go to school after a certain age, 13. They and So women are very subjugated in under the Taliban in Afghanistan. Um, so much so that some parents would dress their daughters up as boys so they can go to school, you know. But and we've heard about this about Afghanistan is one of the most repressive places to live for women, uh, and children, especially young boys. I never really heard that story though about how they were subjugated and abused. And there's this culture of that goes back thousands of years, hundreds of years in Afghanistan, where men would take young boys and dress them up as girls and have them dance for them, right? And it still goes on today. The special force operators have numerous stories online about this. National Geographic's did an article about it too. They dress up throughout history, they would dress up these boys to parade around like girls and dance for them, and they would be sexually assaulted and raped, by these men. One of the special forces operators said, and his translator told him, in Afghanistan, the boys are for pleasure and the women are for reproduction, right? Which is like odd to at first glance, especially like Islam. Islam is like totally against homosexuality. They say it's not natural or rational. The imams in Afghanistan will say that, even in Pakistan. However, it still goes on. It's like it's the dirty secret. And fast forward to 2001, when America, after 20 years fighting insurgents in Pakistan and in Afghanistan, they left. They basically pulled out of Afghanistan, and now the Taliban has come back and is now the government of all of Afghanistan. And mind you, they're kind of trying to present themselves as, I guess, as a kinder, gentler Taliban. In a sense, they're reaching out to the media more, and they say they condemned, when in 2001, that they condemned the cultivation of opium and the use of drugs, heroin, opium. However, it still goes on because they're still getting money from that. They get money from the opium, and a lot of times in exchange for weapons and whatnot. So yeah, it's crazy. Like, just to get back on the subject of Pakistan's hidden shame, these street children who are abused horribly in that documentary are probably happening right now. They resort to drugs to hide the pain, right? Which a lot of us have resorted to that type of stuff. What's up, Hurricane? Good to see you. Yeah. Adams 87. It's a vicious cycle. So much so, dude, it's like burned into my into my head right now watching that. It's crazy, man. And it's not like the only place. There's places from where my father's from. Or our ancestry's from Mali, but he's from Swaziland. So all over the place. Mexico. I mean, you have the drug cartels cutting off women's hands and their heads. I was reading a story about in Mexico, 49 women bodies were found headless and without hands, left on the street in by the cartel in Mexico. Um, it's fucking wild, bro. All this shit. Yeah, yeah. You poured a lot from Pakistan. Yeah, Pakistan is, and it's also a nuclear. It's a nuclear power. Yeah, that's wild. Um, yeah, yeah. I don't know why 49. It must be something. 4 plus 9, 13. You know, that's a very occultic number. We need Zach Hubbard over here. Right? In the Mayan calendar, which the Aztec Mayans definitely influenced by the cartel. 13 is ascension, right? Ascending to what though? Those are my unlucky numbers for Vietnamese. So I guess you don't like the San Francisco 49ers. But yeah, I put the link in there. Yeah, so I meant to show some of this some of these videos about it. Let me see if I can find something else real quick. Interesting enough and fucked up enough that a lot of these boys in Botswana, Pakistan, the street boys, they are molested and abused and assaulted by the bus drivers and vans drivers in this area because that's a big way of the transportation. These buses by these men, and they kind of like we had the lot lizard culture, the truckers in America. You know, they go to the truck stop and you have these lot lizards. Well, in Pakistan, these bus drivers and van drivers, they drive these colorful vans and buses, take people all over the town, because it's a relatively big country around the city and the other parts of the country. They have these bus depots, and they park their car there, and sometimes they need to take a rest, like a rest stop, you know. And there's one gentleman in the documentary, or male, not gentleman, in the documentary. He sells these nasty ass bed bug beds out on the outside where these men could sleep there and take a rest, literally. You know, he runs kind of like a outdoor hostel, and these men rest there, and these boys go there. They hang around the bus stop because before, what I didn't mention is the fact there are some great people in Pakistan that are trying to help these boys. You know, they have a community center where they feed them some food, and they play like games and stuff, like caribs, kind of like rudimentary pool game. Uh, and then they get a chance to be off the street during the day. But the whole thing about it is like this community center is great, keeps them off the street. But at night is when the predators come out. The freaks come out at night, right? And attack these boys, vulnerable boys. So these boys go to the truck stops, the bus stop depots to hang out, maybe even sleep. And these men offer them money or soda or whatever, and they molest them at the bus stop. And there's one man that has the hostel at the bus stop. He's literally hooking these bus drivers up with the young boys telling them, we're gonna clean, give you some food, something to drink. All you gotta do is sleep with this man, do what he says. So he's getting the boys like a madam, like a pimp, where he's literally a child trafficker to these bus drivers. And these guys have the ignorance is so crazy. They have no qualms about talking about what they're saying. On one end, they say they're very religious and they want to find a wife, but they're like, I can't even go out, on a date with a woman, be seen with her because everyone will stare. But what they say, but when we walk with the boy, nobody says anything. And there's one story where this operator, special forces operator, was saying like when he was new to Afghanistan, he saw like kept seeing these truck drivers riding around the highway with their sons, and he was like, "So, oh man, it's so cool seeing these fathers, with their sons and whatnot, taking their son to work, traveling." And his interpreter was like, "Bro, those aren't their sons, man. Those kids are." They're sex slaves, basically, kind of, you know. So yeah, man, shit was this was wild. We play this. We'll play this little. I'm sure I can play the trailer.
It's one of the world's It's one of the world's most
Naeem. Let's see. He was 13 and he got on the street when he was 8 after his parents died, and he wouldn't listen to what his brother had to say, older brother. So his brother beat him, so he ran away into the street. And then by the time he was 8, he figured out like he gets money. He can get money and food if he sleeps with if he lets these men do whatever they want to them. So he sold himself because he didn't have money, he said. And then he got addicted to drugs. This little dude, he went to the movie theater. He's like, there's 2 movie theaters. There's one across the street where they play some of my favorite movies, kind of like a Bollywood movie, right? Oh, and the themes with Bollywood, right? It's always like the poor guy that comes up and beats the rich guy. And that's what he was saying. Like, the bad guy comes up and beats the good guy beats the bad guy. I love those movies, right? He said, but I don't go to this one across the street because they play they play porno movies there. And the men there are jerking off and having sex with kids in the open. It's like, what the fuck? The way they were talking, it was like, God damn, gosh, man. And he went to the movie and he got, he went to go buy hash and sniff glue, buy glue. It's crazy, man. This shit. And they tried to clean this guy up and get him out like 1,000 kilometers out of the city to go to this school program. And he went there, but he said it was like prison because this guy's used to running around the street, like Aladdin the street rat, running around the streets and stuff. But it was killing him. He started to self-harm himself, cut himself, thinking about suicide. And he ended up, he said, they asked him, are you molesting boys, younger boys? And he said, yeah. So it's a cycle. It's like if somebody wanted to help this boy, because I know a lot of Americans and Westerners, they want to help these kids and stuff, which is admirable and stuff. But if you bring like a kid like that into your house, what's he gonna do to the other kids in your other family members, your children? It's a vicious cycle, right? And I get it, like it's fun to laugh and stuff. I like to laugh and all that, but it's crazy how people really don't, at least in this section of the panelverse, talk about this stuff. They want to talk about male female relationships and will versus, I don't know, destiny or whatever. But to me, this is important broadcast. Some wild stuff, man. Al Jazeera. Did they even let you play this?
Come here. ये जैनब के कपड़े हैं, फ्रॉक वगैरह उसकी। हाँ, और ये वो तस्वीर थी उतारी जो वायरल हुई है।
How's it going, Luke? Within? What's up, man? What's up? How are you? How are you?
What up, bro? My bad. I was grabbing my food real quick.
Yeah, good.
Chilling, dude.
Yeah,
I
good.
have some lemongrass soup with some chicken and some motherfucking mustard greens, bro.
Nah, shit, that's nice and healthy. That's
Oh
good.
yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
keep
It's good with you,
keep
bro.
up with that. Yeah. Oh, I'm good. Um, yeah. Today's a holiday. It's like some
Hell yeah.
independence holiday or something today
Oh shit, for real?
in Taiwan. I think some
What's
what
that?
happened was like years like probably like 100 years ago. Something happened where how mainland China was occupying Taiwan, and I think like kind of like American Revolutionary shit where they taxed the locals here on the island very high
Yeah.
with tariffs and whatnot. Think about the Boston Tea Party, and I think there was some dispute about the cigarette taxes they had here, and people were rioting and protesting, and the military was trying to hold them back or whatnot, and one of the soldiers got trigger happy and shot one of the locals and killed them, and it started these riots and stuff, and ended up, I guess, causing some other like people to get motivated to kind of like fight for their freedom and whatnot. So
Yeah. It
I think
only
that's what's
takes a
going on
few.
right
It
now.
only takes a few to set the example.
That's right.
And it lights a fire under everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. This so I was watching this yesterday with my wife, and I don't know if you ever heard about this stuff in Pakistan and in Afghanistan with the boys being essayed.
I've been listening to you, yeah, and what you're talking
Yeah.
about. It happens all around the world, man. It happens all around the world. It's even, it's even deeper than what people think it is, subconsciously and psychologically. But yeah, what you're saying. They're selling their bodies for food and shit. It's everywhere. It's Thailand, it's
Yeah. Yeah. It's everywhere.
Mexico.
Hmm. Yeah, but it seems here though, it's like so even though it's like they don't promote it per se, it's so out in the open.
Yeah.
Because like we always talk about like the pedophile rings in America, and
Oh,
we
yeah.
see, like I said earlier, about like these channels, Midwest, like pedophile catcher, like where they set them up, and a lot of people like to watch these people, like the cringe, like crash out moment when they get
Yeah.
caught, because basically their life is over in some certain respects.
They have
Normal
chop
life.
shops here. They have chop shops in America.
Yeah, but this when you look into this Pakistan stuff, Afghanistan, it's just like so fucking blatant. It's ridiculous, man. And that documentary, I'm surprised no one ever talked about it. That I know, because supposedly I'm hanging out with truthers and whatnot, and this shit was wild, bro. This shit was wild,
Nah,
man.
I mean, some of them are, man. Some of them are. a lot of them got lost in the sauce here in the past couple of years, and I think it was a lot of psyops that was implemented in the community. There are people who are trying to like turn around from that. You know what I'm saying? You know who I'm talking about. But it's too much time wasted at this point, and that was kind of the point of the psyop of like the provocateurs that they brought in to cause chaos and sow division. So like, yeah, there were some legitimate truthers. Like I'll name a few. Like, you know, for sure, OTW. OTW is for sure like legit, but definitely lost in the sauce. And I can't say I didn't get lost in the sauce either. Fucking got drawn into all the bullshit in the real life and whatnot. And I believe that Jack Talcott's a real dude. I believe he's a good dude. And Flow State as well. And there's a lot of people that are being used by other people. And it's just, you know, it's just a necessity of life at this point for some of them. But honestly, yeah, man. But the sad thing is when you do the real work, like what you're doing here, and get your shit shut down like 5 times in a stream. You know they've been turning your video off, right? You there, bro?
Yeah. They keep shutting it off, and it's funny because it's like I can show like almost like a whole video that's like an hour long of something else, you know. But when it comes to this, and it's like this particular documentary, it's on many different channels, you know, like because you know they have like a lot of cool free documentary channels,
Yeah.
you know, and all they're doing is like taking some obscure documentary from like France or Spain, or you know what I mean, and just putting it on, you know, their channel. But me talking about this shit is crazy. How
it's like what are we reaching 1,000 people? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's the algorithms. So they suppress you instantly. I did a FCC reading of just extremely low frequency tech. I mean, it's real. Like I showed the sources and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's the microwave tech. It's like the mind. It's a bunch of different shit. They can do all kinds of stuff with it. They tried to hit me with sexually explicit content for fucking reading an FCC file. Yeah, I feel
That's
that I
ridiculous.
want. But that's how the algorithms hit you. They're just trying to get you for something. That's anything you do.
Yeah. Well, at least we know it. We know what's going on. And the people you mentioned, I see it. Like they're especially OTW. He's doing his thing.
He's a real dude.
Yeah. Flow State
There's real
too,
people
like,
out here.
Yeah. It's just that like with all the 3 people you mentioned in Jock Talcott, even myself, sometimes, no offense, because you're not this type of person, but when you open your panel up to like multiple people, that opens it up to useful idiots or even people who are actually consciously probably agents. You
Or the
know?
provocateurs, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. And especially that Talcott, I almost was gonna do a stream on that, reviewing that. Look, the one you were on yesterday for me.
Yeah.
That shit was fucking wild. Everyone was on that bitch and doing their stupid shit, and you were just being normal and calm and adding value. And it's like you're a kryptonite to Tommy. You're like, what are you doing here? It's like ridiculous.
He's got issues with everybody though, honestly.
Yeah. You know what he said in the chat? It's funny what he said in the chat. He said he's on NPC. It's funny how you only go to safe spaces. I mean, why would you want to go? That shows you how demented it is. Why would I want to go?
Focused on you.
Yeah, definitely. Because I actually came out with him as trying to build with them. You know, I really never really said anything.
I wanted to warn you, bro, but I figured you'd figure it out on your own.
Yeah, I figured, I know you said some stuff and other people did, and I had a feeling it was like that, but it was like, it's only a matter of time. So until then, let's write it out. And no, but it's funny how how he thinks that going to a safe space is something bad.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, wow, these people are.
He'll just say whatever, man. It's not even like it's a safe space. It's an open place for building. That's all it is.
Yeah.
But don't give him energy, man. You know how you view the kryptonite. You
Oh
kill
yeah,
him
for
with
sure.
kindness. Kill him with kindness. Do exactly what
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what to do if you don't attack him back. That's what he wants.
Well,
That's what
yeah,
Steven wants. That's what these people want. They want you to
for
attack them
sure.
back. They want you to give them energy.
And and I
They
haven't
draw
really,
on it.
and I haven't really like I bring up Tommy's because the reason because I think I do. There's part of me that does respect his intelligence and
No,
and
definitely. I
but
told him I
that's
was
why I
being
bring up because
truthful,
if I
man.
really didn't like you, if I really hated you, I would not even say the name. That's why I don't even bring up Queen. What's his name? You know. But with Tommy's a little different. But with that said, bro, this is a very toxic individual, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely. Yeah. And just to cover your bases. Yeah, Tommy.
Yeah. But
If you're lurking, buddy, we respect you and we love you. Okay, don't worry, man. I'm just talking about you out of admiration. Okay, love you, buddy.
okay. Let's look
I was
within.
talking to him in the back chat. I was talking to him in the back chat, telling him I love him and
Okay.
stuff. He was freaking out.
What's up, Bex? Speaking of all those people. I mean, she isn't familiar with all these characters.
She has that superpower
Hell,
too. She can do that too. I learned it from her.
yeah, yeah, this is pretty wild to do that. That machine lines and Toilet Bowl Earth that was entertaining and I guess if you're involved in the narrative, that drama is pretty intense too. That was wild, you know. Those two guys. They're
GMO
going
has
around
too
for
much potential to waste it on giving those people energy. Now I'm telling you.
yeah.
If
Well,
he
I mean,
needs it, I
he's come
support him.
from
I
this.
support him whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. This is like I mean, I posted this in his Discord. 'Cause, I mean, he's from Pakistan. He says right.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious about like what he thinks about this stuff.
Wait, is he or isn't he Punjabi?
He said he's from Pakistan,
Oh, he might be too.
village in Pakistan,
There's Punjabs in Pakistan.
but I think he's a Muslim.
Everything's all mixed up over there.
Yeah,
Everything's all mixed up over here. Everybody know what they are.
yeah.
They're like, I'm a
But
Baptist,
the
I'm a
ru-
Lutheran, I'm a
yeah, but the ruling party is Muslim there in Pakistan.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes
but
sense.
yeah. I mean, I talked about Pakistan before. I think when he was on there when I had this series. This is kind of lightweight doing it. The World Award Tour. When I was talking about Bangladesh, and we ended up going over to Pakistan, looking at some of their walkabout tours. Um, yeah. Yeah. Matter of fact, maybe let's do that shit for a second. Pakistan. Pakistan's. I mean, Afghanistan is wild though. Huh? That's a wild
I haven't
place.
been. My uncle went there active duty. Yeah, he said I mean, literally saw
You went
thousands of
there?
people around. Just dead. Yeah, but
Uh,
I wouldn't know what happened. He's done all kinds of crazy shit. He's only a year older than me too. But
is your uncle?
he's a good dude, man. It definitely molded him into a better person. Like he doesn't agree with anything that he did. Excuse me. I mean, he
Yeah.
sees through it for sure. But I mean, he was adopted by another family. He just had a necessity. He just wanted to do something. Like I almost went to the military. I'm really glad I didn't. I was going to be an MP. That's what I showed for my ASVAB. But I'm really glad I didn't because I would have ended up over there too. And I probably wouldn't be here because I'm not the type of person. I would have cracked. I'm not as tough as those people. You know,
Mhm.
I couldn't live with myself if I did the things that I know people have to do. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, I could see that. Me too. But then you say that now, but who knows what would happen if it didn't really
I know
get
I
done
wouldn't
now.
have my family that I have now. So I'm super grateful.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I wouldn't
Everything
really
had to
change
happen.
things
No,
in that way. But you probably can't change things in your circumstances in life, but you necessarily can't go back into the past. But
yeah.
yeah, you can mitigate things and stuff and change them.
I found out recently that no, I knew this already actually, but I'm practicing the motto of I don't believe in bad luck. I only believe in luck and better luck because everything bad that has happened in my life has led to something good. And when you look
Hmm.
back on it, you understand that. So it sucks, man, but you got to look at it that way. It doesn't suck actually. It's great once you realize it. But when you're in it, it sucks. But it's
Oh
the
yeah,
truth.
man. Like, yeah, I've been going through some stuff this last week that's pretty serious. Could be some pretty serious things,
With the
and
family.
oh, it's just some personal things. I'll talk to you
Yeah,
about it
I
in
understand.
Discord if you want someday.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah, I want to talk about
yeah, but yeah, and then if I look at it like that, the thing it is blessings because you can read between the lines. If you catch something early, you can do something about it, rather
it.
than
Right.
if you don't. So even things like that, which are like, oh my God, I can't believe this, this happened. You can still fix things and whatnot. So
Right. You got a
yeah,
chance.
yeah.
But like I said, man, no, you know, later on you're gonna look at it. I mean, it's taken me a long time to realize this, but
Hmm.
even, and this sounds crazy. People are gonna be like, "What the hell?" But like my my parents' deaths were a gift in a way to me for what was going on with them and the places that they were in their life and the places
Hmm.
that it led me in life. Because I've lived in California, I've lived in Wisconsin, I'm now in Mississippi, and none of that would have happened without any of that stuff happening. Or, me getting caught up, going to Laredo. You know where Laredo is?
Mm-mm.
No, in California. It's pretty
No.
rough, but that's where I was locked up, and like it was hell while I was there, man. But like I said,
Mm.
I wouldn't change anything. 'Cause if all that shit didn't happen, I wouldn't have moved to Wisconsin. I wouldn't have met my wife at the exact time that I needed to know her where she was. We wouldn't have, and none of that stuff would happen. So I don't look at it like, oh, good, my parents died. Like I was very depressed. I went to alcohol and drugs about it. But in the long run, I look at it like now I'm sober. Now I have motivation. I have a family. I have, yeah, I have the most motivation to do what I need to do for them in life. So it makes me get up every day. And without them, I probably wouldn't be here to be real. So, but anyways, I don't want to
Yeah,
loop on it
definitely
too
not
much.
not in this capacity. Yeah, you wouldn't be in the capacity you are right now. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
I probably wouldn't
yeah,
even be here talking to you, man, to be real.
yeah.
I'm grateful to be.
But but also too, I mean, everything shouldn't be so. Uh, it's fatal. It would be a fatalist way to look at it in terms of like not having your wife and your son like that, or your daughter like that, and your blessing that's coming. However, it doesn't mean that your life wouldn't be blessed in another way, and that's crazy to look at that because when we have our kids and our wives, it's like oh yeah, we can't picture life before that, like damn, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah,
but what that said is even then, I think everything works out. But I'm glad it's the way it is, and that's like we were talking about. I wouldn't change it,
just
so I
over
can.
here playing Minecraft.
Oh yeah, she's
I built
building
this
new
world. Now she
vistas.
took it over. Yeah. It was my world. It took me like a year to build with my wife before she was born, and now
Yeah,
she's got everything to play with in there. It's cool.
yeah, that's fun. A year it took you.
Yeah, I got a zombie mine. I got an automatic farm. Got like I got like like the tower in Dragon Ball Z where you go up, and then
Yeah.
like Kami's tower. I got that tower built, and then It's got a portal up there to the netherworld. That's like one of her favorite things is to build portals to the netherworld. Go to
Oh
different
yeah, the
places
portals are
in
cool.
the world.
And
Yeah.
you end up all these weird,
Hmm.
Yeah. I
Enough
think
about
one of my
Minecraft.
no, that's cool. No, one of my
All right.
favorite things is that Egyptian temple. I think I've seen temple. I think it was like a temple of Set somebody made.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, they recreate some really cool stuff. Her and my wife just built our place that we live. I live in a single wide, but they rebuilt the whole single wide from the inside, like everything the way that it is. That was cool because she still plays with
you
it,
able to
like
do
on her
it?
tablet and stuff. What do you mean?
He's able to make it like pretty accurate.
Yeah. They showed
That's
me, and I
dope.
was like, "Oh, damn, that does look like our place." And they started
Mhm.
building the outside and stuff. And our little
Yeah,
garden we got out front and all that. It's cool.
that's dope.
Oh yeah.
Check this out.
I'm showing you. I was just on my camera.
which not only gives you special
What's this?
shows up in this recording clip,
Check this
and
out.
it persists throughout the remainder of it, which is strange and must be some sort of bug. So just try to ignore it and it will disappear in the next clip.
We have to hear him talk. But look at that. Shit's beautiful. Huh? The eye. How long do you think this takes?
Oh yeah. Does it have a lot of views on it?
This one?
Yeah.
Let me see.
It's using that
5
eye
million?
symbolism.
5.2 million?
Yeah, using the eye symbolism to get the views.
Yeah.
Hypnotizing people.
Damn, just
Probably
look at just that
half-boss.
side of the right. Just that side of the pyramid. That's a lot of work right there.
Oh yeah.
Monotonous, huh?
Somebody rebuilt like all of I think it was Mordor, Middle Earth,
Uh-huh.
like the whole. It was one of those things where they built like the whole thing of Middle Earth, and it took them something like 8 years or something like that.
Uh-huh.
In
8
creative
years,
mode, I was
huh?
like, damn, dude, like imagine
Yeah.
dedicating 8 years of your life. Like I'd
Well,
feel ashamed if my daughter wasn't playing this now and I spent a whole damn year building this thing with my wife.
well, I mean, that's like building if you play Call of Duty or GTA and you build up your account. Maybe you don't
Yeah.
have a city you made or something, but you're putting in work. It's just like something like this is monotonous. It's literally you're an engineering. You're an engineer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You made it all blacked out.
Hmm.
Would you say it was a temple of Set? Yeah, totally looks like it.
Well, that's what I called it.
It looks like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got the
I think
eye
he
and it's all
puts-
black with the gold.
I think he put some dogs in front.
Oh, like Anubis.
Yeah, exactly. That's his name. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a better one. Oh, there you go. You saw it right there for a second. Let's see. Smoke some DMT and you'll see that. Let's see. Oh, look at those epic large. There's something about large sculptures and that I trip off of, man. When you see these large beings, even in sculpture form, it's wild, man. Yeah. Mm. Oh, you know what I saw the other day that I really enjoyed? Hold on one second. Sorry. I watched this guy Peter. What's his name? He's one of these vloggers that goes around America, one of the bigger ones, and just interviews people. And like he has one video called the blackest city in America, right? And then he had this other one where I watched. It's called the rich, wealthy Alabama, and he went to this. I think it was called like Fopord, Alabama. It's along the bay or ocean over there, and he went down to like this town, and it was like they call it like the LA of the South. And it was so quaint and like so cool, bro. It was it seemed like such a nice place to live, a cool place to live.
There's little
man, this
patches
make
of
me feel
really.
good.
Yeah, there's little patches of really like wealthy areas in the South.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Like there's a city not too far from here, about 45 minutes west of me. I go there and it's actually one of the nicest cities I've ever been to. I've been
Really?
all over. Yeah, yeah. And this is supposed to be one of the poorest, states. I mean, it is one of the poorest states in America, but it's literally that people there have money and you can see that
Right.
back into the community.
Yeah. Just like here, look at this lady's view in her backyard. It's ridiculous.
Love that. So what do you have to say about this part of this?
Well, this house is. I love
About
this house.
$20,000 a year. Okay.
But the public schools, I can imagine, being pretty good here, right?
They're great. They're fantastic public schools.
$20,000
It's right on the
a
bay.
year for the high school.
They got their own pier.
The high school has its own pier.
Yeah. So when the kids are in school, they're more expensive cars in this parking lot than I've ever owned.
So this is your friend?
Yeah. Michelle and her husband, Bruce. They're awesome.
This house is.
But she is Southern.
What a property.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. So the sunset's going to be.
Oh, yeah.
Have you guys had
up, Bruce?
a fun time?
Yeah, man.
Look at that picture. It's like Donald Trump.
We've been covering some
tuxedo.
ground.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's Peter.
How you doing?
Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
Bruce.
Nice to meet you.
Bruce, nice
That's
to
how
meet
they
you.
really look.
Thanks for having us over.
They kind of look like that, I guess. Or maybe years
Oh, yeah.
ago.
That
That
wine
house. Exactly right there. This house though is like something that you can see in Saratoga, California. You can see in any state probably, right? Any state in America.
Have you been here before?
No, first time in Alabama. First day.
Won't be your last.
Yeah, no,
Come
I'm
on.
loving it.
There's probably a couple $100,000 in that wine cellar.
At least,
what a
huh?
place.
We have incredible sunsets here. Hopefully,
It's a crazy way to do the stairs, huh? How it opens up in the middle,
Oh yeah.
the middle of the room up there.
you'll be able to see one.
Oh, beautiful. What a pool.
Michelle, those
Alabama.
leaves in the pool obviously came over from that mobile.
Infinity
Baldwin
pool.
County leaves got more courtesy than getting your swimming pool.
Now, how in the world did you hook up with Doug?
Doug found me, which maybe that says something about me.
This guy Doug, who actually contacted this guy Peter, because this is his channel to show off his city. He's interesting because he's from Alabama, but he spent a lot of his early adulthood in California, and then he moved back. And it's interesting how he's really proud of Alabama now. Where because he was saying like when he first moved to California, it was like they go, "Oh, where are you from?" And he goes, "Alabama," and they go like, "Ugh,"
Yeah.
because what's the first thing you think of? You think of like racism. You probably think that people aren't really literate. So, I mean, it's ignorant to say that, but that's what a lot of Westerners probably think.
No, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, and so but he says he's really proud of his where he's from because look how beautiful it is, But then earlier on when he asked later on he asked his one of his friend's daughters who's in her early 20s about how does she feel about Alabama, and she says something interesting, like different. Let me see if I can find it. I thought it was cool.
I felt like how the tone he was using with that lady. I felt like he was like lightweight flirting with her.
Oh yeah, he was.
right in front of her husband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was doing like a southern accent or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A guy like that around your wife, I don't know about that. Even though he's a cool guy, supposedly he said he was in pornos or something like that in California when he was younger. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, he probably knows better though than to fuck around.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely.
End up out in that ocean.
Where's this shit? Where he goes to see.
Yeah, there were like 300 patients in this old building. And at the end of World War II, there were 5,000 soldiers here training for a secret mission, they say, and this was called the bootless camp because all the soldiers would take their boots off before they went inside because they didn't want to mess up the wooden floors. Now that's Southern. There's a statue. I'll show you the guy. His name was Bucky Miller.
Oh,
And
yeah,
he worked down here at this hotel for 60.
Here's flirting right here. He's flirting with this girl that owns a juice shop from California. From this lady. She owns this juice shop right next to this store.
See her meeting and all that?
I don't know, subliminal stuff going on.
Okay, so you're from here, Fairhope.
Not originally, but
Where are
yeah,
you from?
transplant like most people. San Diego.
How have the locals taken you in?
Oh my
Alabama?
gosh, they're wonderful. But Fairhope's like the hippiest town in Alabama.
It's hippie here.
Oh yes. Well,
Yeah, go ahead.
there's all kinds, but it's just artistic, healthy related. You know, it's just a different vibe than like what you think of Deep South.
I didn't think it'd be so beautiful, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah,
The
did
first
you
time
know?
here.
Did you know before you came?
You know,
It'd be like this?
I was living in North Carolina, came for a conference at the Grand Hotel.
Okay.
And this is my first time in Alabama. I was like, oh my gosh, this is, you know, how people should live. This downtown area, walkable, gorgeous, water, affordable. You know, in my mindset was very affordable to live here. Oh, you know what you need to know
What's
about
that?
is this movement called hopecommunity.org. No, hopecommunityaL.org, and we're working on a teaching farm, teaching kitchen. We really want to kind of make this a blue zones area where people live, have longevity, you know, not with a lot of illness because the community is walkable.
Well, Doug might be on his
There
way.
you go.
Doug's
Here's
in
a
his
flirting.
50s.
Out there.
He's
Oh
looking
my
great.
God, go 50.
And the guy, the vlogger, is trying to hook him up. He's like, look at this guy, Doug. He's in his 50s. He's in good shape.
What's that?
Go 50s. I'm in my 50s too. Doesn't he have a Southern California vibe?
54.
Little bit. I feel like he was.
Alabama. I know we have friends of friends. I was like,
Yeah.
he looks familiar. I'm Lori.
I know. What kind of movies do you watch, young lady?
What kind of movies do I watch?
Because when I lived in California,
Yeah.
I did some questionable
Questionable
work.
Oh, I
You
wasn't
haven't
watching
seen.
those.
You haven't seen him.
When someone says they done questionable work in California, you gotta be, oh, okay. What are you talking about? What's up, vengeful truther? Good to see you. Yeah, it's been a minute. Yeah, we definitely gotta do our thing, man. Our collab. Definitely gotta do that. Good to see you, man.
I'm telling you, this is a fact. I was terrified to get on Facebook
Oh.
because I'm like, man,
Do you do online dating?
no.
Oh gosh, no, it'd be all your neighbors
No.
here.
I
Maybe
mean,
all your neighbors. So
I
that
did
must
it
be.
once.
That must be
Actually, I
tough.
did it
There,
once.
huh?
I really
as
did.
many people I met when I was supermodeling
Oh, super
all
well.
throughout Europe. And supermodeling is not as easy as what people think.
It's
I mean,
it's a lot of
but
work.
occasional
Capping.
gasoline fight.
Trying to burn
That truck, yeah, they actually wanted to use that truck for the gasoline fight in Zoolander, but
There you go. They putting attention to his truck that she said she already liked.
I was
That's
like,
a
nah,
really cool
I don't want anything to happen to my truck.
Isn't that a cool truck? Would
It
you
is.
be happy if someone pulled up for a first date in that truck?
Absolutely. I'm a truck
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah.
My
Awesome.
dream is like an old Ford Bronco, like 71, 3 on the
Yeah.
tree.
Yeah.
I had one before I moved here. I was redoing and had to sell it. And
Yeah.
now I kick myself every day.
Well, let me tell you,
Every day.
a Southern woman in an old truck,
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing sexier than that.
Well, you missed mine.
And
I've got mine in the back.
I bet she knows how to shoot a gun.
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
But I'm not a Southern woman. I'm a Southern California woman.
there you go.
They still Southern.
Yeah.
But I still
Another-
don't
How
know.
cool is that?
Keep
Yeah,
running
but
into the
native Californian is that.
Yeah, that's right. This is why Hank Williams Jr. in the song Country Boy Will Survive, he shouts out Northern California because the native Californians are very country and traditionalism it was rampant back then, back in the
Oh,
day
yeah.
before the Silicon Valley was planted over the 3 miles deep of fertile topsoil in Santa Clara Valley, where I'm from, in favor for Facebook and Hewlett Packard, Apple, YouTube, all that shit. But the real Californians, like you're speaking to right here, me and Liquid did, native Californians, is like, that's the real deal.
Dwight Yoakam and who else? Buck Owens are both from Bakersfield, where I'm from.
Oh yeah, they're from Bakersfield. Okay,
Yeah,
Central California. Yeah, there you go.
yeah, yeah. They're very conservative in Bakersfield. I mean, if you go to Bakersfield, you'll see people wearing cowboy boots and fucking cowboy
Now, I
hats.
have
and
some
shit.
cousins that live there.
Yeah.
They're from Santa Paula, Ventura County, and they ended up moving to Bakersfield.
Yeah, you see everybody out there. You see every walk of life. It's crazy.
Hmm. Yeah, I like these
Like all
places.
the native Californians I've
Right.
met, it's that.
I like this. I
Yeah,
don't know if my
boy.
wife would get with it right away, but for me, it's kind of what I was raised on. At least the music and shit, and some of the people I grew up with.
100%.
Boy, girls.
Yeah.
That's how we grew up. We were playing in the canyons, making forts. We were out until the street lights came on, people hollering. But, the parents looked out for you, but there were no cell phones, no trackers, no cameras, no doorbell, And here you still kind of feel that way. They can leave their kids out playing. And I still get a little hesitant, though, when I see them walking by themselves. I'm like, oh.
I wonder if she has kids. What do you think? I don't know.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like
He said, he doesn't.
Used to it.
I don't know. I'm sure like he has a cool life and stuff, but I feel like I'm biased. You're missing out on something if you don't have children by a certain age.
He lived on it. He sold his house.
He said his dad's client. I think his dad was a lawyer, so that must have been a cool way to grow up, huh? Your father's a lawyer.
Oh yeah.
Moved down here, lived at the Grand Hotel on his boat. Not a bad way to go out. Guys,
I'd have just been happy to have a father growing
He
up.
said, I'm not sure if I'm
Oh yeah, me too. Well, a positive one, because there's people that have fathers and they probably did more damage than not having one. So you get what you
true.
get. Yeah.
True.
somebody
Okay.
trouble in that house.
What happened?
A friend of mine's grandmother, that was her bay house. And I mean, we would come down here in the summertime and raise, holy hell. Getting at it every day. I mean, I eat super clean, I always have, but I'm addicted to I'm a creature of habit. When I was having that martini every sunset, hey Paige.
Like I said, he changed his life. He's healthy. No, this is what I was talking about, like how his view of the South is like he's very proud of it, whereas some of the younger generation not so proud of it. Maybe even a little embarrassed about it.
This is Peter.
How you ladies
That's
doing?
Harper.
Nice to meet you. We're making a video today. Doug, all right. Nice to meet you.
Harper's living in London now.
Oh, cool. Is Doug a local legend?
Local life.
Fair to say?
Doug, he has many characters he can be.
There's many characters. This guy Doug, he's probably fun to be around. It's probably hell fun to be around. But
the South this is a rarity in the South, I'll tell you. How this area is, like that's the
this is
coast and
very
stuff.
rich.
Yeah,
This is very
yeah.
wealthy, very wealthy.
There's a lot of places out here that are pretty poverty stricken, but that's one of the reasons I'm not. I mean, I don't know. You probably don't know too much what's going on with the U.S. economy right now, but it's going down the shitter, man.
No, yeah, I follow it. Yeah, I follow it. I'm not there, but I definitely talk to people and follow.
It's gonna get bad, man. But the silver lining in that is that I'm already in an area, like I said, where it's already people are used to it, so it's not gonna get much worse here. But in places where they're used to having money, it's gonna be rough, man. Like,
right.
I was talking with my wife's mom, and they're up in Wisconsin still. I mean, it's crazy to me that $30 for 5 dozen eggs, at the store, and I get mine down the road from our neighbor for $2 a dozen still. But they're up there, up there they're paying freaking $60 for 5 dozen eggs. That's $1 an egg, bro. Like, you know how crazy that is, bro.
That is wild.
What the hell? And then they got the PCE coming out tomorrow, so we'll see. We'll see. I think it's going to accelerate. It's a consumer index. It's I I forget all the terms for them. There's CPI, PPI. That's the consumer price index, the producer price index, and then the PCE. Let me look it up real quick.
Well, they set the
But it's
standard for
basically,
prices in general of things.
yeah, it's coming out. PCE, personal
Yeah.
consumption expenditures. So yeah, it's based on the
Yeah.
consumerism, and basically that's coming out tomorrow, and the market's already been dumping, and I think we're at the beginning of basically another 2008, bro. Like it's a but worse, because in 2008 everything was only overvalued. I mean, it wasn't overvalued. It was there's certain indexes you watch, like the Buffett indicator.
Mm-hmm.
There's a specific name for it, but it was at 75% in 2008, and it went down to 50. It's currently at 215%. So if we have to be brought back down to a base level, it's going to be a lot further of a drop than what it was. And I know that we are overdue because of all the quantitative easing and money printing that was going on. Because honestly, during the COVID thing, we should have gone down, but they screwed it up real bad, and it's just been parabolic since then. And the growth is too much. There's a lot of companies investing in AI, and they're laying off a lot of workers. Like, the news keeps coming out. So the layoffs were high today. It was 22 million higher or something like that than what was expected.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't know. It was a lot, man. It was a lot of extra layoffs. I watch it while it comes out, but there's going to be more, and you know what comes with higher unemployment. So
Crime.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then more
Yeah.
stimulus, and then more money printing, and higher interest rates, and we're already not doing good. So,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
I mean, what goes up must come down.
Don't forget the war against the cartel.
Yeah, there's too many things going on.
Yeah, which is interesting
They were
because
talking
during
about more tariffs.
more tariffs, and more people will turn to drugs probably too.
Well, they just announced a bunch more tariffs today, and then they were talking about the tariffs on the chips, and that relates to you because you're in Taiwan.
Oh yeah, the
And
chips. Yeah.
he didn't announce exactly what he was going to do. He's saving that one for later, and I think they might hit us with that either tomorrow or next week. It just depends. But just a heads up, man. It's a worldwide thing at this point. It's not even just like our economy. It affects our economy. It's everything.
Yeah, a lot of the parents a lot of the people I used to tutor personally, but also a lot of their children work for TMS MC, the main semiconductor company in the world. So
yeah,
everything's connected.
I know how big you guys are. China was talking about coming and taking over for a minute, but I heard the Taiwanese president, who was he? He was like, he basically said, he basically said, "Fuck with this," and then they backed up.
Yeah,
I know you guys have some tech over there.
I know him. I mean,
I know him personally,
but I don't like. I met him before. He was the mayor of the city I live in before he became.
That's
president.
dope.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
I think he went to Harvard too. He seems like a really cool guy. The president before Tsai Ing-wen, President Tsai, she was a woman. So and it's funny how people say like women can't do this and that. They're in the leadership positions, and even though it is it's political theater and whatnot. But she did a great job in terms of not popping off a war. I give her props for. Now, with that said, there is interesting enough for all what a great president she has in terms of her family. She had no family, bro. And the word on the street was she probably was like a lesbian or something, or Pretty much, yeah, kind of. Yeah, I mean, it's more like the way they talked about like she was asexual type of shit. Like they didn't really
I got
talk
you.
about that shit, but she looked like a butch. But
It's nobody's business, anyways.
true, but it's still something that I have to admit I'm curious about in terms of
Yeah, right.
as a person. I'm always curious about the person's personal life. But now you're right. Now it's not my business, no, but I'm still curious.
Right.
I think Trump was asked the other day about, would he someone said, will you help Taiwan if China does something to Taiwan? And he's all, well, no. Xi Jinping's, very friendly with him now. Let's see what happens.
Oh, gee.
He said that shit. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know about any of that. I know he's trying to, and all he cares about, man, is aligning with the superpowers, because it's a superpower, you know what I mean, over here.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, Taiwan's very important. If Taiwan's important enough for China to want to invade for the semiconductors, then they're obviously a player in the world stage. So
yeah, it's for the semiconductors as well as
maybe.
the position of it as basically an aircraft carrier.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're trying to do it here, but apparently they can't do it. They can't do it for the same price as what other people can, and make it just as efficient, from what I'm hearing.
You mean for semiconductors?
Chips, just everything.
Yeah.
Like NVIDIA, yeah.
Wasn't King's talking about, Schiff was talking about that in the Discord, huh? About NVIDIA the other day. What did you say?
It's been, dude, it's been the talk. That was the catalyst for a lot of what's going on right now with the market. But they just use these catalysts. They like literally the market's overvalued. So they're using the end of February to bring the market down, because it's historically a down month. So what they're doing is they're starting this whole downturn in February, and they're freaking out already. We haven't even corrected 10%. And that's the thing, is people over here they don't look into things. They just listen and buy and listen and buy. And they don't look at any charts or know how to chart even. And that's what I've spent a lot of my time over the last, I don't know, 7 years or so learning to, and I have quite a bit of knowledge of it. Now I'm doing it actively. And it does matter. There's people out there that are just strictly, only fundamental analysis matters. They both matter. But you have to understand that the charts predict the news, Gabe. They make up stories after things start going down. If you know how to read the charts, you can tell what's going to happen in the world. And that's exactly what I watch it. I've seen it myself. And if anybody says otherwise, they don't watch charts. So they don't know. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You know when things are going to go down, and when they start going down, there's always some news. Oh, this happened or that happened. There's something with technical traders, and what they'd say is the charts predict the news. And everyone knows this. Who knows it? You know what I mean? Like, you kind of have to do it to know it. But it's weird, man. It's really weird how they use all these catalysts as excuses for things. I almost feel like a lot of it is theater, just like people say. I don't feel like it is. I know it is. Either way, it doesn't matter what one person knows when 99% of people don't. It's just that's why you also have to pay attention to these news stories and the data coming out and whatnot, because they move the markets with emotion, with the people's emotion and energy, and they'll go with it.
Right.
People will just roll with it because they don't want to take the time to learn. They rather just watch a CNN clip and be like, "Oh, this is why this is happening." And I get it. Like, that's the educated thing to do. But wouldn't the more educated thing to do is actually learn how to, chart, use retracement tools, draw trend lines. It's all pattern. It's all pattern recognition. That's all it is. It's people make it sound way more complex than it is, like counting cards. Counting cards is not that hard. if you can count in the negatives and you can count in the positives, you can count cards. It's just repetition. That's all. And the more you do it, the faster you're going to get at it.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Okay, well, you combine that with mass psychology, knowledge of mass psychology, like you said, following the trends and seeing how people's emotions are pulled this and that way. Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's why they put out so many different news stories. They're called floaters. It's actually a term you use, though. You know how they put out the monkeypox. They put out all these different stories to see how the population would react to it. They're seeing what sticks. Then
like
once
Gene
they start
Hackman dying.
Right. Gene Hackman, cutter of wood. We're in the year of the wood snake. I was looking into one. Dude, I don't know. I put these patterns together and I start looking things up and it just all clicks and I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
So I'm a goat. I was born in the year of the golden goat. Shout out to the goat. But
yeah.
You said what is your shine, man? Are you
fire snake?
You're a snake?
Yeah, fire snake, yeah.
Bro, this is your year.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, no, remember I did some streams about it.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I've been.
But thanks for
I'm
reminding
back
me.
and forth. Yeah, I'm back and forth. Hey, man, it's your year. You know, next year is my year, right?
Right. But here's
this
the thing,
my year too, though.
yeah, exactly.
Every year.
It is. Yeah, every year it's a momentum. Here's the thing, though, too. It's like I thought this year of the snake was gonna be like so dynamic in a sense of like everything will just fall into place, coasting and whatnot.
Yeah.
However, it's not. It's actually been like I was kind of alluding to earlier. It's been very serious. Like it. Like I remember I told you I hurt my knee the other day. Like and then there's some other shit. Some other shit happened when it's like, holy fuck, man, this is not going the way I suppose. But however, it's telling me these things. You need to take care of these things.
Exactly.
Which is a gift. That's why if someone, like you said, your goat's coming up. Your goat's coming up. Like if you're prepared, if you like look at it, it's like I'm gonna make sure everything's as as cleaned up and perfect as possible. So when you do hit your year, it's almost like flawless. You know what I mean? Because even the bad, quote unquote, bad things are good. They're gifts. They're gifts. Yeah. Go ahead.
I feel like you're the same as me, Gabe, and I thrive in chaos. So I'm having a lot of growth this year, honestly. And I don't, like I said, I don't put all this weight on my numerology and my astrology, but I do use it to my advantage because I understand those energies. But I'm 33 this year. It's an 11 year for me. Next year is the year of the goat. I feel like what I'm moving into this year will help me develop next year and flip my life around. And I've always had the philosophy of 33, and I was thinking about this coming up into this year. Is the reason that when you're 33rd degree Freemason, you become a master Freemason, or the highest level is because you go in their terms from solid to liquid. You learn to flow. You learn versatility and adaptability. And I haven't learned to the saying I thrive in chaos, and that is because I'm a 5 in numerology. 5 is chaos. So my whole life, I've noticed that. Just like these are all the things that I'm opening my eyes to. I've known all this. I don't have to be told by astrology or numerology, but it guided
confirmation.
Me. Right, it guided me in that direction, and I've realized that through all the chaos, it's almost like the Phoenix term, Phoenix rising from the ashes. But that's exactly right. That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, I see it. When you say 5, and also too, it depends on where you're corresponding with too. Because for me, 5, like I've seen it when you said it's like chaos, but for me, it's in the last 12, 15 years. When I look at my numerology, which I use Mayan astrology a lot, numerology.
Yeah.
My 5 was it means empowerment. in the Mayan astrology.
The
So
five, yeah, the
the
five is
five means
it's important.
empowerment. Yeah,
It's
empower.
adaptability. The negative aspect is chaos. The positive aspect is adaptability. That's everything has a positive and negative aspect.
Yeah,
So it's and then the reason I believe is because it's in the middle, so it can translate to each side's even.
right.
But
Also, so you
going
you
back
said
to
that.
you, man, and you were saying that you were having this growth. You know what I mean? That's
Mhm.
it. If you think about it, the snake has to shed its skin, and
Yeah.
how many, what better time than your year to shed your skin and grow?
Hmm.
That's exactly
Right.
what it is. If you can,
So,
all you got to do is survive. That's all. You survive,
yeah, that's what I feel. Yeah, even when you
and
have
you're
like a
gonna
little
grow.
sickness, yeah, even if you have like
Yeah,
a little cold, have a cold or something, or even worse, when you survive it, you just feel like 10 times better. You're like, yeah, man, it made me
exactly.
stronger.
You
Yeah,
appreciate life
for
all much
sure.
more. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
you
looking
have
into astrology, and for some weird reason, so I heard the news about something Kathy Woods by. You know who Kathy Woods is?
Kathy. Oh yeah, the financial woman. Or
Right, right. She was known for
yeah,
being a
shift hates
horrible
her.
investor. Yeah, well, she's known.
He said that
She
whatever
was
she
really
goes,
good.
whatever she goes, he says go the opposite, just like Jim Kramer.
Yeah, yeah. But here, listen. She's also a goat, but
Hmm.
she was born in the year of the wood goat.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
That's our element is this year.
Her name is Kathy Woods, bro.
Oh yeah, wood. There you go. It's cool. It even says it.
It's weird, right? It's kind of
It is
strange
weird.
how Gene Hackman died in the year of the wood snake. She's born in the year of the wood goat. Wouldn't next year be the year of the wood goat?
No, it's 2027. Next year's year of the horse.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
I
you
got
got
you.
a
Well,
year to get
no.
ready.
Oh, okay, for sure. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Even more time, but even better.
yeah,
But anyways, we're in the wood stage again. Yeah, so I would say whatever she does in 2027 is probably going to turn around. So
yeah.
honestly,
Yeah,
everybody hates her. That's kind of the way things go. Is like what everybody hates is the new thing the next day, and what everybody loves gets shit on eventually.
yeah. Like I like Drake more than I mean, Kendrick's cool. I've seen him before,
Yeah,
perform and all that. But like, I really have appreciation in this stupid rap beef. It got me actually to listen to Drake's lyrics and see how actually he's very skilled.
yeah.
He's actually a real battle rapper compared to Kendrick Lamar. If you want to talk about battle rapping,
I just can't
so
take him serious because I remember Degrassi, bro. I remember Degrassi. You remember that shit?
yeah, I seen the clips when he was Jimmy. When he got
Bro, I
like
had
shot, he was in the wheelchair. Yeah,
he was in the wheelchair. He was like a
yeah,
little drama TV teenager show.
right.
Oh, bro. Every time I see his face, I'm like, oh, the grassy ass, dude. Fuck.
Oh yeah. Now my thing is like my wife would show me all these memes of him back in the day when he was literally hugging like NBA stars, and his face looked like a little kid. It's like, oh
Yeah.
god, that's hella gay. Look at it's
He,
all like a fanboy and shit. Yeah. But with that said, though, like, I mean, I admire his successes. He's
right.
really successful, and he does what he does very good, very well.
Have you looked into
Uh,
does he write
he's
his own
Scorpio too.
music or does he have
Yeah.
a
Well,
ghostwriter?
well, I'll tell you this. Like we were just talking about this with my friend the other day, Ben. Like, a lot. Most of those disses, in terms of the disses, he was writing those. He was definitely writing those because they were coming out too fast. Uh, I think he writes his music.
Okay.
Maybe he gets
All
help
right.
because think about it, bro. Like, the best writers for movie scripts and television. Well, no, not the best. All of them are. It's a group effort. It's a group effort.
Right.
To literally. Now, it's one thing if somebody writes the whole thing and you have no input. That's kind of stupid in terms of a rapper. But I'm not mad if somebody got some help. Here and there.
No.
So I definitely think he's skilled, but yeah.
To be real conspiratorial about it, I think all these people are actors in the background. All of them. Kendrick, Drake, all of them. They're all. Uh, anybody who's big, anybody who you know their name, I think they signed a deal. I think they were given the offer. You know about the offer.
You mean the quote unquote soul your soul?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Because
well,
you
I
can't
mean,
make it.
maybe.
You can't make it if you don't, man. They're not gonna allow you to influence the masses if you're just gonna say whatever you know what I mean. Like, who didn't make it big, but is still a big name, like where we're from. Trying to think of not Jedi mind tricks. Um, God dang it! Why can't I think of the name of the band?
You mean Living Legends or something like that?
No, it's nobody big, but all the people saying the realest stuff aren't that big, and then a lot of them that even have a lot of the conspiratorial stuff in their music is it's misleading in a way,
Well,
and they're trying to lead you
confuse
down
people.
right, exactly, and get you
Control
in a state of
domination.
hysteria. Exactly.
Yeah. But my thing is, though, it's like, yeah, maybe people are holding them back per se, powers that be. But a lot of it, most people don't want to hear that shit nowadays. Be it the truth or not. People want to be
No,
entertained and
that's what I'm
stuff.
saying.
It's just like these YouTube channels. Like I could be saying, like, "Oh, I'm shadow banned," and yeah, maybe I am or not. But the fact is, people don't want to watch it. If there was, there'd be like so many people. You know, you gotta
There
play
are
the
people that
game.
do. There are
No,
people
I
that
know
do.
there is. Yeah.
Honestly, none of it matters in the end because then I remind myself and some of the people that I deal with that and I would get off into a little bit of that on my channel, but I tried to keep it more focused around positive things and internal growth. Obviously, the name look within. You know, it's not for me; it's for everybody. But the biggest thing is if you give that shit energy, you're just helping it grow. You're just buying into it, you know. And there's a fine line between awareness and obsession. There's
Yeah.
it's good to be aware. It's good to spread awareness. People need to know that these things happen in the world, like what you're sharing about tonight on your channel. But at the same time, if you did the same stream every night, all the time about the same subject, shout out the zebras. You know what I mean? Then people would be like, "What the hell? What are you doing, man?" Like,
Yeah, you
it
must
gets
be
old.
into that stuff too.
Right. You're giving it too much energy, you know.
Yeah.
But it's very good to tell people what's going on because they don't think about it. They don't think about the children around the world, what happens.
No.
And you almost
No, they
get
don't.
shamed. You almost get shamed for talking about that stuff. It's surprising to me because even people with children are very cold hearted about it. It's like, what if that was your child? You know what I mean? What if they were born in that situation? I'm sure you wouldn't be so, screw those children or whatever. You probably have a different opinion on it, but
for sure. I mean, and even if you're selfish like that, like you were a boy once,
right?
You know. Yeah, so it's like, damn, man. Yeah, like you said, have a heart, have some awareness. Yeah, the thing comes down to, like you said, back to what you said about these people like Drake and the big names and Kendrick, like selling themselves. I always come back to this point, the fact that like the biggest conspiracy that I see is the people's relationship with this false sense of their self. Like, and in a sense, everyone's playing being an actor, and not to what spectrum. That's the thing.
That's why I like to introduce myself as Patrick and not look within. Or, you know, the LDub thing came from my old partner. Well, I should say my co-host on the show. We tried to do the show together right away, and then he stopped showing up, so I just took it over by myself. I just got busy with life too. But yeah, man. I mean, that's the thing I've found in life is like, if you're gonna have a partner, you gotta really, really know them. And it's been multiple times in my life, multiple different aspects, even in real life, having a business partner. You think you can trust people, man, but a lot of the time it's better to build something by yourself and then let the people
both people. Because if you're gonna have a partner, especially on YouTube, they need to have their own channel. They need to be active, at least on their own. You can see how they get down with their own stuff. you know. And then if you see that, oh, like, okay, they're serious about it. They're all stuff. Well, let's say we can collab together, you know. Because that's what all the
Right.
big YouTubers, they've done that. They've been part of little groups and stuff. And everyone got,
Have you
for
ever
the most part, clouded up.
considered talking with Encode again?
And I'm sure my door's always open, but I don't feel like it, bro. He's a weirdo, man. Like the way he
Yeah,
he
I know what
slandered me all
happened.
these videos he made.
No, I didn't see none of that. I saw
He
some of the
did on his
later.
channel.
Yeah, I saw some of
Yeah.
the latest. Oh, I think I heard him say something one time, and I just stopped by and I didn't say nothing to him because
Yeah.
when he was with you, man, I said to him, just
Yeah,
out
yeah,
of
thanks. Yeah.
because he was your homie, and I'm all about
Yeah.
support. He's been doing some different stuff lately. I don't really stop by and listen.
Mhm.
I like to show support regardless to whoever's trying to do the work, even if it's in their own way, But I feel like that girl. What was her name? That
Oh,
lady,
Eternal?
crazy lady.
Yeah, he got
Yeah.
pussy whipped on her.
Okay. Yeah, but where the fuck did she go?
Supposedly she has her Discord that she hangs out in or something. I don't know.
She just came over into London's. She came over into your show.
Yeah,
She came over into his show.
but she lies.
And she
That's
tried
not
to
something I
even go on
heard.
Jack Talcott's. Yeah, she tried to go.
Yeah.
She lies. Who
Yeah.
the fuck was she? That's my question.
She just wanted it to be she wanted to be seen. You know, and I remember you said like she's probably like a honeypot. She's
Dude.
either like a useful idiot, which means people who don't know that they're part of this like op or something, or she literally works for somebody or some agency or something.
Bro, you know what? One thing is I joke about shit sometimes, and I look back at it and we call shit before it happens a lot of the time.
Yeah,
Out of intuition, and I'm just. I hope she's listening right now. She probably was fucking an agent, dude, because she seemed to only sow division between people. She kind of between you and Encode caused a lot of issues between everybody. And it felt like some people were simping, which is fine, whatever. But man, what better of an agent, somebody Australian lady, or was she New Zealand or some shit?
Yeah, there's a lot of Australians that are weird, popping up, doing weird things. Yeah,
I heard about that.
Buddha
Anyways,
talks about that.
just a
About
thought.
Australia.
I need to subtitle.
Oh, I don't think makes any videos though.
Oh, okay. You just talk to him personally.
We just talk to him like all the time. Yeah,
Oh, hell yeah.
almost
Like
every
on
day.
personal level. That's dope.
Yeah, on a DM or something.
Where's
I'll put
he
you
at
on
right now?
he's what time is it? He's probably on his way to go to sleep. He lives in
He's got shit.
California.
Oh, okay. He's got shit.
Yeah.
Nah, it's
Yeah.
9:57 here. It's 8 o'clock over there.
Nah, he goes to bed early because he wakes up and goes to the gym. He's a bodybuilder, among other
Oh,
things.
for real?
Yeah.
You know what time I woke up this morning?
What's that? 4?
4:44. On the
Yeah, I
dot.
knew it.
Looked at the clock.
That's a good.
I was like,
That's a
what
good
the
song
fuck?
by
Bro,
Jay-Z.
I've never woken up at 4:44 before. And just the other day, I did TML's life path for him, and he's a 4. And
4.
I've been talking to him a little bit more, and then he told me just last night for some reason, and man, if this is programming and my mind is waking me up at 4:44, then I got something wrong with me, bro. His book is 444 pages long, 800
Oh wow.
paragraphs. Yeah, and he didn't know he was a 4, and I did his life path for him. He's a 4. And I was like, bro,
Yeah.
what the fuck? So I woke up at 4:44, and you know what I did? I fucking messaged him because I was like, "You good, man? Like, why am I waking up at 4:44 all of a sudden?" And I guess he did have some shit going on. Yeah, man.
444. Yeah, 4 is an interesting number. Here, if you let them tell it in Asia, they say 4 sounds like death. The way you say it,
it's
so
a
they don't
negative
like
number.
4. But
It's a
then the
negative
Native
number.
American 4 is a stability. For the 4
Yeah.
winds, the 4 directions. The 4 is what makes us what gives us the rules of a game. You know, so
Four corners. Yep.
4 corners. 224 422. This Alexander, is that your Miss Alexander? What's up? Is that your birthday? You're saying 2244? Or you say that's your like number, like numerology?
Oh, she's a hybrid 22-4. She's a she's a 4, but she's a 22.
That's my son's birthday. 422.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
422.
Ben's birthday.
2018.
2018.
So
Year
you know
of
his
the
life path,
dog.
though.
It's a 22. I know that. It's a master number, 22.
Yeah, hell yeah. Do you know about not to reduce 13, 14, 16, and 19, right?
14, you said 14, 16, and 19?
13, 14, 16, and 19. A lot of people don't know this. I think it's somewhat hidden knowledge.
I don't think I have any of that in my shit.
Well, when you run into those numbers, just like master numbers, while doing the chart, you're not supposed to reduce them, or you'll fuck up your numbers. So, yeah, but she's a 22-4. She's a hybrid. One thing I learned recently is there's no such thing as a 2. 2s are actually just hidden 11s. They're like soft 11s. So
1-1.
My wife, so I was doing my wife's numerology years ago, and I kept getting confused because I couldn't decide if it was an 11 or 2, and I decided she was a 2 because it was confusing. She's born on 7/4. She's literally born on Independence Day.
Okay.
And my daughter is a hard 11.
4th of July.
Yeah. So she has. Apparently, my wife is like one of the rarest types of 11s. She has the 11, 22, and 33 in her life path. And I just found that out. Dude, she's fucking everything. And I'm fucking the 5. And my daughter's an 11 too. I got 2 11s in my life, and my lucky number is 11. It's crazy, bro. It gets weird because your lucky number is the first number of your date of birth. So, like, I was born November 28th, 1991. Not to dox myself. I don't give a fuck. Come find me. We'll see what happens. Anyways, fucking.
So 11 is your lucky number?
Yeah, because 1 at the end and 1 in the front. 11-10. What year?
1977.
So your lucky number is 17.
17, you said?
Because you got the 1 and the 7 at the end.
Yeah, that's actually one of my favorite numbers I was when I played basketball was 17.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
Look up Michael Jordan's
Chris Mullin's
birth.
17. Yeah.
Yeah, look up Michael Jordan's birth. His lucky number is 23.
Oh yeah.
Shit goes pretty deep, man.
Yeah.
It's not just surface level.
So Rebecca's is 48. He's born on the 4978.
4978, yeah. Yep, 48.
And then Ben is 48 too. Wait. His is 48 too.
That's crazy, huh?
Yeah. That's why they
That's
seem
weird
like
when you start putting this shit together. The crazy thing about TML's life chart too, I did his I can do it for you too, bro, for free if you want to just message me.
Yeah, please do it.
5 core numbers. I'll do all 5 for you, and I'll send them to you. He was saying that he sees the 4s and the 8s. He has so many 4s and 8s in his chart, like mad amounts of 4 and 8s, and he has 3 11s in his chart. So he's a 4 with just tons of fucking manifestation power, and it makes total sense because I mean, you know, TML, that's the type of character he is. Dude can literally do anything he puts his mind to. I believe that for sure. But anybody can. I feel like some people just have, like my wife and my daughter, they're definitely my secret weapon because my lucky number is 11 and they're both 11s. So, and I'm 5, but with them combined with me, I know if we work together,
Well, I
we can
guess
really take over the world. Like,
right. Yeah, we could. Hey, look, Rebecca, if they're 11 then, huh? If you go 3 plus 8, it's 11, huh? 48.
yeah, 48.
Yeah, 48.
That'd be 12.
Excuse me, 12. Duh.
Yeah, yeah. But I feel you can do that as well. You can reduce them and have those lower numbers as your other numbers. Like I said, man,
I
I don't let it use me. I use it.
Yeah, I think you can
Um,
anything you can probably make to positive.
mhm.
The way you can stack up all this reality and stuff. But some things stand out
'Cause-
more than other things.
well, and like even in astrology, you have your enemy years and your enemy numbers and
Hmm.
numerology and shit, or your numbers that you're not compatible with. But
Yeah.
honestly, that's up to you, man. That's why,
Well,
like I said, I
yeah, I
only believe in
think.
luck and better luck. That's it.
Hmm. I met someone who was year of the pig recently. I don't know if it was Miss Alexander or what, but it's like we got along good when we were
Yeah,
talking. My mom was year of
one
the
of
pig. We got along good when we were
yeah.
snake.
I
Supposed to be the
have good
opposite.
friends that are ox, and that's supposed to be my enemy. And my wife's a tiger, and apparently we're supposed to have not so compatible charts, but it's what you put into it, man. Honestly, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
just people that you're going to be more compatible and able to build with more.
Yeah, you can still build with them. Like one of my dogs' year of the monkey, and the other one's year of the tiger, and they go at it in their own way. Well, then again, they get along too when it matters in the end.
Yep.
Maybe it's not the most ideal, but they learn to get along and have
Right.
some
You
touching
can
moments together.
you can learn. You can learn to get there, man. If
Yeah,
you want to. There's going to
yeah,
be
just
certain people that you click with, and there's going to be certain people that you gotta learn to click with. That's all.
yeah. Right. Let me show you this real quick before we go. Like this whole thing about. Remember, we were talking about how the guy Doug, he was very proud of being from Alabama, right? Well, this is what
Yeah.
this young girl that's living in London now, she's in her 20s, when asked the same question from her friends about Alabama, what she says.
Okay.
A great impersonator.
Full of jokes.
Yeah.
Full of jokes.
Always good for a laugh.
So you're living in London now.
Yes.
How does it feel to come back?
Great. I love home.
Do you have to explain Alabama?
Says
when
she
you go
loves
to
home
London?
personally.
Do they get it?
I don't really say I'm from Alabama. No.
Really? Why not?
It gets a bad rap. They don't understand but how good Fairhope is, so it's not worth
The funny
saying.
thing,
I
she
say
says
I'm
she's from Florida. The funny thing is like,
Florida, 'cause that's
I can see me doing something like that when I was younger, but now I'm like, I don't give a fuck, man. Like, I'm gonna show you the good things about where I'm from, even though you may have been, you think otherwise, you know? You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But she's younger.
the closest.
Okay,
You're like,
yeah.
Florida, love Florida, because that's basically where we are.
So if you say Alabama, you have to explain it. You have to explain it.
Do you have like a grocery store there? Like, I'm like, oh, like, so it's easier to say Florida.
That's not the real reason. We all know it's because people. What do people? Most people they think racism. Right off the bat,
Yeah.
at least.
Well,
put it out
they
there.
think Southern people are dumb too.
Oh yeah, that too. Which is a fact I've been proven wrong many times. It's just the delivery. Sometimes the way they draw
Hey,
those
y'all.
people off. Yeah, yeah.
It's interesting because, you know, she's the younger generation. Like me, I'm going to say where I'm from, you know. And then so one generation under me, they're not so comfortable just to come out and say I'm from Alabama.
Right. They don't want to deal with the stereotypes. And
Yeah. So there's a generational difference that I just found out.
Like that, you just found it out. That's very interesting. Yeah. That's like when I remember we were playing years ago. I was playing PlayStation online, like SOCOM Navy SEALs, the war game, and somebody was like, "Oh, I'm from San Francisco, Bay Area," you know. Well, San Francisco, a bunch of gays there. It's like that's all people know. A lot of times, that they think that's all about San Francisco,
Right.
when in fact it's very multifaceted. I mean, yes, that's something that yeah they are known for that, but dude, don't get it twisted. It's some of the maniest hoods in California, center, in California, among other cool things too. I
There's
mean,
triads up there too, isn't there?
yeah, Chinatown stuff. We used to hang out there.
Yeah, you don't fuck with the triads. You go up there and call them
Nah,
gay.
exactly. There's yeah, exactly. Alexander has a saying, Southern people have a rap for being inbreeding. Oh, yeah, some people think that too. I would imagine.
That shit happens everywhere.
Deliverance. Yeah. Yeah, it probably happens here in Afghanistan. Yeah, they went to zero. The views. Funny.
And there's people in the chat. Yeah,
Weird.
you're shadow banned, bro. But
Very-
that's all right.
very
You know what that
strange.
means? It means you're doing something right.
We're on to something. Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna do this new segment where I'm really into like archival footage now from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So I'm gonna visit some of these old news stories, local news stories about like movie theaters and arcades and stuff like that, and some other things. That'll be fun.
You know what's
Yeah.
wild? I just found out. I looked up. I was just thinking YT because suppressing you. I was gonna say whatever. They're suppressing you. YT is 72, and 72 is my lucky numbers in Vietnamese astrology. I've been running into that a lot. So I just found that
72.
out recently. Yeah, my recent tech number at the fiber optic job I was working, it was 5072, and I'm a 5.
Okay.
Doesn't get much more
Yeah.
wild than that, does it?
Yeah. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. And then on some cult level, you get to the Goetia, like the legions of King Solomon Temple, lesser magic. and
That's
all that.
exactly what I thought.
They say 72.
The 72 seals. Yep.
Yeah, all that. Yeah.
Today was the 27th, and I did have some pretty good luck. But like I said,
it
every
was. Well, it was,
every
yeah.
day's lucky. Every
Right.
day's lucky to me, man. It's just luck and better luck. That's all.
Yeah, today's the 28th over here, but yeah, every day's lucky.
I was
And,
born on the 28th.
November,
was
right?
Yeah, so was Elon Musk, and so was it? I think it's either Bezos. Yeah, I think
Elon
it's
Musk,
Bezos.
7/28.
Yeah.
No, wait.
Yeah.
No, he's born on 6/20. It had to be Elon Musk because he's a Cancer, I thought.
Yeah.
6/20.
28
huh?
borns are supposed to be able to.
Money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wealth specifically.
Oh, wealth,
being being a goat, being the 8 as well. Another little advantage I got. I just got luck all around me, bro. Lucky to know you, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, me as well. The snake has definitely different chambers and moves with his charm and wisdom and probably fucking what else? Regeneration power. I think shift is
wisdom.
wisdom.
Bro.
Yeah. That's definitely a gift. I think shift is a goat too. He might be the same year. I think he's as old as you too. So
For real? He
Yeah.
sounds older
Yeah.
than me.
yeah, that's shift, huh? It was just funny. There's another guy in our Discord, Mystery Ozo from He's Puerto Rican, but he's from Camden, New Jersey. He's literally the same birthday as Shift. It's funny because they have a lot of similarities. They just come at it. They just have a different style of doing what they do, but I can definitely see the similarities between them and all that. Yeah, man. Yeah, this has been a full circle moment of this Pakistan hidden shame. It's so hidden that YouTube wouldn't let me show the video, but it's good because I got to explain in my own words,
Right.
what I saw and what I felt, and what I want, what I want to get across is the fact that there's like you said, there's many all over the world people who are being abused, and especially children, and the society. Definitely, as a society, we need to protect them, and it starts with protecting yourself and protecting your children,
Yeah.
even if you're an aunt and an uncle. and two, like dude, they need help. They need
Even if
some
you're not
help.
related, you know what I mean? You see a child
Yeah,
and you see a child being harmed and you don't do anything about it. You're kind of partially guilty, in all honesty, if you don't say or do anything. I know
absolutely.
myself that's not, it doesn't happen around me. There's a lot of things that don't happen around me. I know because it would be, it wouldn't
Taken
happen.
care of.
So, right. It
You
stays
would take
away from
care
me.
of it.
It's
You
a
would
good thing.
definitely take care of it, huh?
Oh yeah, man. You have to. There's not a choice in that moment. But the time will come. The time will come. It's coming to light. These things, whether or not people are talking about it or not, it's in the back of their head. They know it's happening. They just full circle back to it. Only takes a few people to start a riot. It only takes a few people to
Mm,
start a protest against something. Once a few people stand up and actually put themselves out in danger to do it, you'll see more people step up. It's gonna happen
yeah, it's already happening. Yeah, and
for sure.
everybody check out this video. This if you, I'll pin it. This is the documentary, Pakistan's Hidden Shame, about the Peshawar street children in Pakistan. The boys in the hood, I'll call them. You know, and you can see Nassim's blues right there. Yeah. And also too, I'll just say this before we go. I appreciate you coming up, man.
Yeah, no worries, bro.
Appreciate you
I saw
coming
the
up, bro.
link.
It's a good bill.
I figured
Good
I had
bill.
to. It's a good time. I got time
Good
now.
so good. Yeah. So yeah, so make this a habit, a good habit. I want to say
For sure, man.
everyone too. Yeah, thank you. I want to say everyone too though. Yeah, and especially you men out there that are over 40, make sure you get yourself checked out, especially your your colon, prostate, all that stuff, you know. It's I get it how some of us we like the holistic way of doing things, which is great, but sometimes a diagnostic check, maybe the Western medicine is good for that. So then you can act accordingly, you know. But the best thing to do is to what do we call it? Pre put yourself in a position where you don't have to really deal with all this stuff by being taking precautions. You know, having good hygiene, being healthy, so you don't have to do these things. But don't be too proud not to get certain things checked up. Um, yeah,
Put the right things in your body, and it'll take care
exactly.
of you.
That's a
I
good
got you.
loop. That's a good loop, man.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, we'll see you next time, man. Everybody.
All right, brother. Yeah, man.
All right.
Let's plan something. Hey, hit me up. Hit me up when you get off if you got time. All right.
Okay, I will.
All right, bro. Love you, man.
Much
I'm gonna
love,
step
brother.
down.
Okay, love you, Patrick. Talk to you soon, Brad. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, man. This has been. Oh, every day is an awakening of some sort. My brother, Look Within, Crazy Mama, Shadow Buddha, Adam 87. You know, who was there. Legend right there. Bex, always great to see you. Miss Alexander, kind of started this catalyst for me with our great astrology build. Shifted my paradigm to more positive things. And here's the thing: um, take care of each other, love each other, and know that you have it good. Most of us who are able to listen to this, we have it really good. We're privileged, and help. You know, help yourself so you can help other people. Peace, much love. NPC in the game.